welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I thought that I'd share with you guys my Q1 favorites. So this is going to be a mix of planner stuff, lifestyle stuff, makeup, all the things, just things that were cheering me up all throughout Q1 of 2022. If you're interested in hearing about my favorites, I hope that you stick around. Before we get started, I would love if you guys would take a second to like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated, and let's just hop right into it. So I have a list. It's in no particular order, and there's 11 things on it. So let's just get started. First things first, I have to talk about the B6ology. This thing was a lifesaver. I introduced it in May, so I didn't have it the entire time throughout Q1, but I was loving this so much. It was so helpful to have a blank page every day. It seems like the simplest thing, but to have a blank page every day where I could write down the things I had to do that day, along with all of the work that I was doing for my degree with that specific day, was so helpful. Not having to rummage through a bunch of notepads and sticky notes and just having it all in one place, it was so helpful. And I really wish that I had used it throughout the entirety of my degree. I'm currently not using it anymore because I'm not in school right now and I just don't need all of this space. But this thing really made me feel like I had my head wrapped around everything that was going on. I wasn't losing any important information. I wasn't having to search for stuff because it was all in here. It was so helpful, so freaking helpful. And it really cheered me up all throughout Q1, or all throughout the month of, I guess, March when I started using it. I wish I had used a B6ology earlier. I really do. It was a godsend, honestly. I was struggling so much to keep on top of everything. My weeks just wasn't enough room considering the amount of work I was getting done and the amount of stuff that I was having to keep in my head. And the Stology just lets me keep all that information in one place. Again, not the biggest fan of notepads and sticky notes because they just end up everywhere. You just have a bunch of loose leaf pieces of paper everywhere. B6ology, it was so helpful. It brought me so much joy. And it was also something different. So even though I was super stressed, I got to do something a little bit different than what I was currently doing. And it really worked and really stuck with me throughout that entire time. And I'm happy I had it in my life, and I wish I would have used it a lot earlier. And I'll definitely use it when I start studying for my LSAT. The next favorite, which you guys can probably guess, are my VDS custom covers. This is one of them. The other one, if you're familiar with the channel, you probably saw my unboxing of the other one. It's the same layout, just a different leather. I have fallen in love with these covers. When I first got them, I had an issue with them. I contacted the company. Anyway, it all got sorted out. But I was never head over heels about them because I couldn't get the front cover of my Hobonichi Weeks in the front cover here. Since then, I've taken some time. I've stretched out the leather, like in a good way. It fits this really comfortably, and I can now have my front and back cover tucked in the VDS, the leather cover. And that's how I prefer to use my planners. And ever since then, I have been absolutely thrilled about these covers. I'm so happy to have them in my life. They've been bringing me so much joy. I waited to have them for so long, and I'm so glad that they're finally here. The layout is truly perfect for me. This nomad layout, chef's kiss. It's beautiful, and it works for me because I don't use my planners as a wallet, so I don't need like 6 or 7 card slots. And I just have really enjoyed this layout. And then the square corners, the chunky clasp, the gold little popper, the big back pocket. This layout has just been really, really freaking working for me. And I love it. I love the leather. Like, I love the JL brown. I also really like the JL black, and I love the velvet sand as the interior color as opposed to having it on the outside. It's just A+. So happy to have those. So happy to have these that I pulled out my Gillio the other day. And I was like, ugh, it's beautiful. It truly is. But I just love the dimensions of this. The Gillio is a little bit wider. It accommodates a chunkier book, but I really like the slim profile of this. It's perfect. It's made for me. I designed it like it's perfect. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about is a makeup item. So I discovered a new formula, and it's a formula that a couple different brands do, and I have been loving it. So they're called matte balms. So Dior has the matte balm. I think they have it in 3 or 4 different colors. This is Jardin Sauvage. It looks very dark, but when you apply it, it's not. It's really not. It's so beautiful though. These have a really high silicone content, which doesn't sound very comfortable on the lips, but it feels like Vaseline. They're beautiful. They're like a sheer lip product, which is what I like. But you can build it up. Like I can sit here and put more and more layers on and really get like some opacity out of that. See that? So I like the fact that I can choose how much color I want on my lips. I love the tone of this one. They feel so comfortable, like they feel like Vaseline, as I said, when you rub your lips together, but they're matte. So if you have to put on a face mask because you're going inside somewhere, it's not like a sticky gloss just sticking to the cotton of that face mask. That is a very uncomfortable feeling. But also I like the way that they look on the lips. I'm typically a gloss girl 100% of the way. The pandemic has changed me. But they're just lovely. So then I wanted like more of a nude. I really like this one. It is somewhat of a nude, but I wanted more of like a brownish nude. So I was looking, I was like, who else makes this formula? NARS does, but they call it, according to NARS, it's limited edition, but I think these have been around for a while. I hope they're not limited edition because they're beautiful. So this is the one in Intimate. They're just gorgeous. They feel like matte balm is the perfect way to describe them, honestly. And then this is Brief Encounter, which this one I love. This is like my lips, but better. I can toss this on without a lip liner. Like I don't have to think about it. It works with whatever makeup look I've done. It's beautiful. This formula, stunning. And then I was reading the reviews on Sephora and it has like 5 stars, but I feel like no one was really talking about these, or maybe I missed it and just no one's talking about them anymore, but they're fantastic, like fantastic. And because they are more of a sheer lip product, as you eat or they fade away throughout the day, they fade really gracefully. Like it doesn't look like your lipstick is wearing off. They just fade gracefully. They're everything about them. They're so good. So freaking good. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is something I've talked about, I feel like a lot. It is the Sterling Ink January collection. I've used this so many times since it released in, I guess, the end of December, right? Yeah, I guess it must have released the end of December for the month of January. It's stunning. It's easily my favorite Sterling Ink collection she's ever launched. It's just so beautiful. I've used it in my planner so many times. I just did my Q1 planner flip through. I think there's like 4 or 5 spreads, which is unheard of for me from the same like collection of art. It's just so beautiful. Like, look at that. I don't know what it is about it that has like made me fall in love with it more than all of her other stuff. All of her other stuff is great too, but I continually come back to this collection. I can easily say that it's my favorite. I want to place an order for more of them. They're beautiful. It's I love it so much. Love it so much. So Sterling Ink January collection is my all-time favorite Sterling Ink collection to ever launch. And then next, let's talk about 2 base products. So earlier this year, I've been really struggling with my skin this year in terms of acne and stuff, and I haven't been able to get to the cause of it. So at a certain point in the year, I was like, okay, I think it may be my foundation. So I swapped out my foundation, tried a bunch of different things, and I've landed on this one, and it's beautiful. And then also, I was in the market for a new concealer, so I tried out this one, and it is amazing. Okay, so this is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. It's what I'm currently wearing on my face today. It's what I used in a get ready video with my everyday makeup routine that you're gonna see. I love this. It sits on the skin beautifully. You get enough coverage from it that it really evens out the skin tone, but it doesn't look like a mask. It doesn't break up around my nose or my chin and the sides of my mouth as badly as other ones do. It I can set it or I don't have to set it, and it looks fine with both, even though I have combination skin. But I've also heard amazing things about it coming from people with dry skin. It's just wonderful. I'm glad that it's not a high-end foundation. I've tried a bunch of those as well. Like I tried the new NARS one. What else did I try? I tried the Fenty Eavesdrop, which I really like that formula, but I think it breaks me out. So I've just had really good success with this. I absolutely love it. Hate the packaging. I hate this packaging. Why would you put this in a dropper? Like it just becomes a mess. It's a mess. Put it in a pump. Please put it in a pump. I have 2 shades of it. This one I picked up not too long ago. This is the darker shade. This lighter one, I used it way more, and it's just dirty, like all around the pump, all around the inside of the bottle, no matter what you do. It's a terrible delivery mechanism, but the product itself is wonderful, beautiful, and gorgeous. And then I was also on the hunt for a new under eye concealer. And I stumbled across this one. I decided to finally give it a try. This is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. I love this so freaking much. I use the shade 4N. My thing, it looks really dirty because I used it so much. I took the stopper out so I could get every last bit of product. It is an absolutely amazing concealer. It's so hard to describe. It's a medium coverage concealer, which is good because I don't like full coverage products, especially underneath my eyes, because I find that they tend to crease more. They just don't look as natural on me, especially because I like to use more light coverage foundation based products like skin tints. So to have see my pimples and my acne and all of my skin imperfections and then my under eyes just be completely whited out, it's a little strange of a look. But it's that perfect amount of coverage for me. But it is so pretty. It makes my under eyes look so healthy. They just look super moisturized, and it's beautiful. And I'm struggling to explain it. It's like an eye cream and a concealer, but it doesn't crease. It creases a little bit because everyone has eye creases, but it's not terrible. It's not exaggerating my eye creases. It's just beautiful. I love it so much. I have never actually taken out the stopper on a product before, so that tells you how much I love it. And I already purchased a backup. And I've actually never repurchased a concealer consecutively. Typically, by the time I finish a product, I'm ready to try something new. I like trying new stuff. I really enjoy makeup, so I want to always explore and try different things. I have no desire to try anything different. I absolutely freaking love this. I already have a backup. It's amazing, and I'm so happy I found it. So happy. So that is Kosas Revealer Concealer and the L'Oreal True Match Tinted Serum. Those are my 5th and 6th favorites. So next favorite, this I got in December. It has been amazing. This is the Dyson Blow Dryer. It is fantastic. And I feel like it's one of those things where people have always said it's good, but once you try it, you're like, oh, it's great. So if you can't tell, I have curly hair. I do like to diffuse it, especially if I'm washing my hair at night, because I don't want to sleep on it wet. And it dries my hair so quickly, and it's all magnetized, so that's the diffuser detachment, and it's so quiet. It's so quiet. It makes me so happy. I can put my headphones in and watch a show while I'm sitting here and blow drying my hair. It doesn't give me a headache. It's so quiet but so powerful. It is amazing. I love this thing. And then also it came with this attachment called an Afro comb. I think that's what it's called. So it looks like this. I can straighten my hair and get it so nice with this thing. And it's nice because you don't have to then use a blow dryer and have a comb in your hand and try to work the two together. This is the comb and also the blow dryer all at once. It's amazing. I do not regret my decision to purchase it at all. I've wanted to pick it up for a really long time, and I am so pleased with it. So that is the Dyson blow dryer. Every time I use it, I'm like, I'm glad I bought you. Every single time. It's great. It's great. Okay. Another thing, so another hair related product that I started using is the JVN Complete Air Dry Cream. You can see I've used quite a bit of it. I purchased it in February. I haven't used it every time I've washed my hair, but I've used it almost every time I've washed my hair, and I love it. I'm the type of person, I want it to be simple. Sometimes doing my hair is not simple. If you have curly hair, figuring out like the right concoction of products and the right mix of products that leave your hair defined but don't leave your hair crunchy, that don't cause too much shrinkage, that doesn't weigh your curls down but is moisturizing enough that your hair isn't dry. Like finding that perfect concoction, I still haven't found it. I've had curly hair my whole freaking life. I still haven't found it. This is so good though. So good. I can put this in, and every single time I put it in my hair looks very nice. There are times like it doesn't have the best hold in the world. You know, it's not a zero frizz product, but I'm okay with that. I don't mind a little bit of frizz as long as the curls are defined. That's all I care about. This is so easy. This is one of the only products that I have ever felt comfortable doing a one and done with. I will wash my hair, get out of the shower, and just put this in it, and the results are beautiful. It is the only product I've ever found that allows me to do that. I'm so happy with it, and I purchased a backup. I do not purchase backups typically of hair products. Like that's another like part of my life that I really enjoy experimenting in is hair products. Because I go through them so quickly. I have curly hair, and I've never found products where I'm like, this is what works for my hair. Like my hair responds the best to this. I've never had that experience with hair products before. So I always just try new things. This, I will always have a tube of this on hand. It is fantastic. Okay, next, back to some planner stuff. Pet tapes. I don't remember when I discovered pet tapes. I cannot remember if it was in December, but I've been using them primarily throughout Q1 of this year. I love them. So specifically Freckles Tea. These are all Freckles Tea pet tapes. They are beautiful and delicate, and the art is wonderful on it. I love using them so much. I love how much comes on a roll. I use as much as I want to without like a sticker sheet. You know, you only have so many stickers. This is like infinite. Of course it's going to run out eventually, but I love them so much. And the loops on them are so long, like the loop in terms of how many different pictures they are until they repeat. It's so long. There's so many things you can do with them. You can be so creative. It's just beautiful. And the art, I cannot get over the art. It's gorgeous. I'm so happy to have these in my life. I have these, and then I have a couple of other ones from Hartley Paper, but the Freckles Tea ones are definitely the ones that I've been using the absolute most. They're beautiful. You guys have seen me do a couple of spreads with them at this point, I think. I love them. Love them so much. If you guys can get your hands on them, I would say grab them. I do know that I think Paper Game Co. is doing or just did a restock of volume 1 and 2, which these two are from volume 1. Yeah. And then these two are from volume 2. They're just stunning and I love them. Okay. Next, back to makeup. Tom Ford eye quads. Beautiful. So I traveled in February. I went down to the States and I went to the cosmetic company outlet, which is at some outlet malls in the US, and it's like Estee Lauder's outlet store, I'm pretty sure. So like MAC, Smashbox, Tom Ford, bunch of different perfume brands. There's a lot of brands there. I stumbled across these. So I've always wanted to try a Tom Ford quad. I was like, I'm never paying that amount of money. These were 50% off. So I actually grabbed 4 of them. These 3 though, I love and have been using absolutely nonstop. So this is De La Creme. It's like the perfect everyday shadows, especially for me, because I like a warm tone look that isn't orange, and that is exactly what this is. It's just beautiful. The mattes in here, they blend so easily. The shimmers, these ones aren't like super high shine, but they're just elegant and sophisticated, and there's no fallout, which I love. This is perfect. If I was traveling, I would bring this because it's a look and a palette. It's so easy. You just follow the steps, you know, put that on your crease, use that to highlight, put that on your lid, and use that to deepen. There's no guessing with it, you know. I just love it. And then I also picked up Suspicion, which is very me. I love a good gold. And this is the wet dry formula. You guys can even see how much more reflective and shiny these are. So very often I'll actually use De La Creme and Suspicion together. Wonderful. They're so good. And then I also picked up the color Body Heat. So I picked this up because I've heard a lot of people talk about it. Historically, these are not my colors. I tried them, and every time I wear them, I'm like, these are gorgeous. Like it makes me feel really pretty wearing these eyeshadows. And this is a color scheme that has never worked for me before, that I've never been interested in using before, that isn't native to my skin tone. But I don't know if there's something about this formula or the specific exact shade or like nuances of the colors that they chose in here. I freaking love it. Like, love it so, so much. I never thought that I'd be sitting here talking about like some purpley taupes. For me, never in a million years. It's beautiful. Okay, last favorite is a snack. These guys. These are the Wheat Thins spinach and roasted garlic. I used to eat these quite often in high school. I picked up a box not too long ago, and they are just as good as I remember. I don't even like spinach. I love garlic though. I don't like spinach. These don't taste like spinach. They taste like garlicky goodness. They're so good. And I don't even like Wheat Thins. These though, give them a shot. If you like a good cracker, give them a shot. If you like a good cracker and you like garlic, try them. I feel like they'd also be like really good with like a little dip. I've never tried that before, but they're just delicious. So I'm pretty sure those are all the favorites. I went through the entire list with you. Let me know down below what cheered you up during Q1 of 2022. I would love to know. Thank you guys for sitting here and hanging out with me. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. Before you head out, please take a second to like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.